If you're going to go on a fight the oligarchy tour, you're going to have to go sit your ass in an airport. I'm sorry. Welcome back. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic. So, Free Palestine protesters took over the library at Columbia University, and in turn, arrests were made. Go ahead, take a look at the clip. Yeah, so aren't we all done with these protests that turn violent and where people go in and start destroying things? Listen, in America, you get the right to peacefully assemble and protest, meaning basically you could show up to a place, just chill outside with a sign and maybe a megaphone and do your chant and talk about whatever you want. But for some reason, like, people want to, defend going into places and destroying things like, paintings or cars or, gluing themselves to a tennis court or what. It's like, where did protests become like disrupting people in their business, right? Like, if you want to stand outside and chant, great. But going in and, occupying a building and destroying everything inside, no, that's not a protest, okay? That's just you going in and destroying people's property and trespassing on people's property. That's all it is, right? It's not any sort of, oh God, we're doing this for Palestine and we have the right to go in there and destroy your library. It's just sickening, and frankly, I hope all these people who are here on student visas get deported, and I don't care, I could care less if they, they never get to come back to America for at least 20 years because they got deported. Yeah, get the hell out. We don't want you. If this is the type of crap you're going to be doing, you need to leave America, and frankly, you couldn't leave soon enough. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So Brett Baer called out Bernie Sanders for racking up a $221,000 private jet bill on his Fight the Oligarchy tour. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Alyssa Slotkin, senator from Michigan, she said you shouldn't be using oligarch. It's over people's head. You've gotten criticized from other people. Free Beacon says Bernie Sanders spent $221,000 on private jets fighting the oligarchy tour, paid for by friends of Bernie Sanders. That you've spent millions of dollars in campaign funds on private jet travel over the years. How do you push back on both of those things?
When's the last time you saw Donald Trump during a campaign mode at National Airport?
No, it doesn't. But he's also not fighting the oligarchy.
No. You run a campaign and you do 3 or 4 or 5 rallies in a week. The only way you can get around to talk to 30,000 people. Think I'm going to be sitting on a waiting line at United? Waiting, 30,000 people are waiting. That's the only way you can get around. No apologies for that. That's what campaign travel is about. We've done it in the past. We're going to do it in the future.
And you think that this is hitting a mark? You think it's scratching the itch that voters want to hear from?
I think at a time when the people on top are doing phenomenally well, when seniors, working class people are struggling, people want to hear action to stand up to the people who have the wealth and the power and create an economy that works for all of us, not just the people on top.
Yeah, so I hate to tell you, Bernie, but if you're going to be on a Fight the Oligarchy tour and you want to tax rich people to hell and talk about how terrible it is to be rich, then you can't be jet-setting America on private jets racking up a $221,000 bill. I'm sorry. I mean, talk about being a hypocrite, right? But, everybody wants to talk about, oh, Bernie, he's the lovable grandpa. We all love Bernie. No, the guy's a hypocrite, dude. He wants to pretend like, no, I have to do this. The guy got a taste of the good life, right? And realized, oh man, I really like flying private. I don't have to deal with all the scumbag people that are just, going around living their life. I'm Bernie Sanders. Of course I should be flying private. They need me at my rallies so I could save America. That's basically what's going on. The guy got a taste of the good life, and now he doesn't want to give it up, and he's defending it, even though it's completely hypocritical when he's on a Fight the Oligarchy tour. Because he's basically talking about how these people, they just fly around in the private jets and the millionaires and billionaires. And remember, he only says billionaires now because he's a millionaire, so he can't, fight the millionaires anymore because he would be fighting himself. But yeah, come on, Bernie, if you're going to go on a fight the oligarchy tour, you're going to have to go sit your ass in an airport. I'm sorry. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So Jemele Hill basically compared trans people to Martin Luther King. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
The other problem, Scott, is that it's never enough. It's bathrooms today. It's sports today. It's sports tomorrow. It's the military today.
No, it's also sports today, by the way.
Yeah, it is sports today. And
80% of Americans agree, by the way.
Oh, that's fine. And 80%, guess what? The majority sometimes is wrong. That also happens, right? Because the majority used to believe that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was somebody who was a threat, that somebody who was not a good American. The majority of people used to be against civil rights. Were they right? No, they weren't.
Yeah, so isn't it just insane that she's trying to compare men competing in women's sports to Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement? It's like, what do these people think they're doing when they're just spitting out this stupid crap that just they think sounds great? Like, oh, I'm a black woman, so I'm going to invoke Martin Luther King Jr. and nobody's going to be able to dispute my claims because I'm a black woman talking about Martin Luther King. When it's just so stupid, because trans people, the whole trans thing, it's like, all right, dude, all right. You invented like a form of human, and then you just claim that you don't have human rights, trans rights. We don't have trans. There's no such thing as trans rights. There's basic human rights, and that's what Martin Luther King was fighting for, right? It's not like he was making up some sort of species of human and just claiming that, oh, yeah, no, this hasn't existed since the beginning of time, but now we're fighting for this and we're claiming these types of people have some sort of rights that are being taken away, right? That's exactly what's going on with the whole trans community. It has nothing to do with the civil rights movement, and especially it's nowhere close to what Martin Luther King was doing. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So a 12-foot obese black woman statue was erected in Times Square, and it will remain until June 17th. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
And communicate those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another, to try and create an understanding and basically encourage empathy.
I have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lead. Clap your hands like sing along.
Yeah, so go ahead and let me know if you're going to be going to Times Square to check out this statue. It's hilarious how they made it kind of like an obese statue. I guess that's more empowering of a black woman. She looks like she's been to some protests. She was there at a BLM protest. Hell, she was probably the one formulating the BLM protest. But yeah, it's just hilarious these days how they gotta feel like they need to put an empowered black woman in Times Square just because apparently there was 2 white dude statues that bookend Times Square, and now they have to show that no, we are empowered too, and that we're not just gonna let white men, run the show in Times Square. They'll probably end up taking down the statues of the white men in Times Square and just leaving up the black woman statue, even though it's supposed to only be there till June 17th. Is that Juneteenth, June 17th? I don't even, is that even a real holiday still, or did Trump put an end to that? I mean, let me know about that, what you think. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.